Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Wrong Place starring Bruce Willis. Yeah, Bruce Willis in one more movie. I don't know how many more he has left before we finally run out of Bruce Willis movies. As a security guard who witnesses a murder and or witnesses a shooting or a murder, I'm not sure which, and then is targeted by the guy who's in jail. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Alright, Stinky, come over here. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Ugh. Whew. You got a stink in your mouth like none other. Like none other. You licking your butt all day long? Is that what you do? Is that what you do? Anyhow, check out the books if you'd like to support the channel so Little Joan can have treats. Look at that face. Little face wants treats. Look at her tongue. Her tongue's sticking out these days. That's because she's losing her teeth, the poor thing. Oh, you lost your teeth. Doggies lose their teeth, in case you don't know. Poor doggie. I brush her teeth every day, but she loses her teeth. You lose your teeth? Oh, no. She still has some. Anyhow, so Bruce Willis is a security guard, and he witnesses this murder, and he's the lone witness, which is key. So, the crime happens, and then this guy is the murderer. He's in prison, and then he gets a guy, on the outside. Now, I've got some reservations about this movie because it's from the producers of The Irishman, which was terrible in my view. Lone Survivor I didn't see. This looks like typical actioner that Bruce Willis would do under normal circumstances, but this is at the end of when he's kind of not in a great, falling apart. And even some of the fans out there, I've talked about other Bruce Willis movies, about how old he's looking in some movies. And some of the fans are just saying, yeah, no, the movie was no good, and Bruce isn't, he isn't himself. And even in this trailer, I can see he looks a little shaky. He's finally in this trailer starting to show his age. Which is a shame, because there's a shot of him running in this, and it looks like he's doing an old man shuffle. But he's not that old. I mean, he's old, but he's not that old. But he is, according to reports, was suffering from aphasia, which I guess he couldn't remember things, and. But I will say that a lot of the action in this movie seems to be not focused on him. Seems to be focused more on the woman playing his wife. I mean, this is a scene where he draws a gun, like Bruce Willis draws the gun. I'm sure, like, most of it's fine. Let's see if I can just get... Nah, can't get it. Written by Bill Lawrence, directed by Mike Burns. Oh, it's a good thing you guys got short names so I could say it. Looks like at least a dozen EP credits there. I'm just going to spitball it. Nah, I'm going to say 12. I'm going to say 12 EP credits at least. Because executive producers start here. I don't know how far it goes because I got, of course, YouTube. YouTube, give me one way I could just block these. I could just go click them out. Anyhow. So... I mean, I love Bruce Willis. I think he's great. He's a Jersey boy, represent. But if he's going to end up looking bad in the movie because he's suffering from a medical condition or he's just getting too old, then I don't want to see him in that role. I'd want to see him in a role where he could either handle or, he's got to retire, and he did retire. So the thing is too, like, and I've talked about this before in show business. You kind of gotta hide your medical condition because once they get wind you're sick or you can't do your job, then you're not even going to get the offers. Because when you're in show business, it's all about getting the work. I'm a freelancer. It's everybody's a freelancer in the everybody's a freelancer in the movie industry, and it's all about getting work. And the work can stop at any time. Now, for a guy like Bruce Willis, it kind of doesn't matter. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions. So, it's not like he couldn't just stop as he did. But you're in that lifestyle. You want to work. You want to be in movies. So it's a real tragedy that he is retired, but that to go out this way. So I hope this movie holds up. My worry would be that you're watching a movie going, did I really want to see a Bruce Willis movie where he looks this old? Because even in this, there's a shot of him in a store. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, and it's like the secondary actors are getting. I feel like they're getting more lines. See, like even here, he looks a little frail in this shot. I'll just play a little bit. Yeah, see, he looks. His arms, everything about him is just looking old. But he is old. He is old, but he's trying to cover it with a hat and whatnot. But even this shirt, it doesn't seem to fit him well. So, I don't want to see a movie where Bruce Willis looks bad, looks overwhelmed. But again, this is what happens in the decline of an actor's career. When they get older, they can't get the roles they once did. Bruce obviously wants to keep playing leading man roles. He was the biggest box office draw for many years. I think he's great. But if he's too old, he's too old. There's just no way around that. You have to transition to, actor-y type roles. Maybe you're lead, but you're lead in a different kind of role, like On Golden Pond with Henry Fonda, or something where you're playing the granddad, or you're the mentor of younger. And he's done that too. I mean, he's definitely done that too. He's also done a few villain roles, which were weird for Bruce Willis. I really don't want to see I don't think I want to see a lot of movies with Bruce as the villain. Maybe one just to see how weird it is, but. So I guess my reservation about this movie, is it going to hold up to the, at least the minimum level of quality we would want for an action movie like this, with Bruce in the lead. So first act, pretty straightforward. He witnesses a murder. This guy is about to be killed. Bruce comes out a door and surprises him just at random. I don't think he stops the murder, or maybe he does. I don't know. They don't really show it in this, but one guy goes to jail. I think he shoots him too, and then immediately they start targeting him. Right? They start following him around, his associates, checking out his family, and they plan on like killing him or torturing him or whatever they're going to do to him. Right? So, and they're biker type criminals, right? And those guys can be just as vicious as any other criminal. So, second act, Bruce is slowly getting the message, right? That they're being targeted. They don't know it yet, but they're just about to discover it. And then, boom, they go to the house. Bruce isn't there, but his daughter and his wife are there. So they mess around with them. I think at some point they escape. I think one of them was taking her out to the woods to kill her or do something horrible to her. And then she escapes, and then at some point Bruce Willis gets wind of it, goes in to help. And it becomes, a back and forth. Can he save the girls? Can he save his wife? They I think they call him and lure him to the house. I guess this is his daughter and that's his wife. So this guy is one of the guys involved, and then it's Bruce doing his Bruce thing. He's going to beat the bad guys. He's going to kill them all. So here's earlier in the movie when they kidnap him, trying to get a good still. There we go. And then Bruce comes in and kills him at the end. So that's a third act, right? And I want to see that, and I want it to be good because I love Bruce Willis, and I want, I don't want him to end his career on a sorry note, on a B movie that just sucks. I want it to be good. So hopefully it is. Yes, he is suffering probably during this movie, but maybe he was able to pull it off, Maybe that's one of the reasons he had a reputation for being a little bit irritable on some movies. maybe his condition was partly why. You know, people kept telling him he forgot to say things, and then he would go, "No, I didn't. Shut up." And he did, but he didn't remember that. So, anyhow, I'm rooting for you, Bruce. So will I see this movie? I might. I mean, I don't know if I'd go to the theater for it. Seems like a pretty straightforward flick. I would certainly look for it on, you know, some kind of VOD. It feels like a VOD movie, so it may not even go into theaters, but I would love to see like Bruce Willis's last movie. If this is, I don't know if this is the last one. I would love to see it go into theaters and do pretty good, you know. One last hurrah for the old guy before he's completely out the pasture. And who knows? Maybe he'll be back. Maybe they'll come up with some sort of cure to at least, you know, he could do a cameo, just do a couple of lines. I don't know. I don't know how bad he is at this point in his life. But I miss you, big guy. I miss you. I'm going to give you an upvote for Old Times. The Wrong Place with Bruce Willis. So look for it. I don't know. Probably this summer. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. We got a Hollywoke hot take and a news blast. And we'll see you tomorrow.